It's raining out. It's a perfect day for journaling. So first I'm going to show you a couple of pages that I did and demonstrate how I did them, and then we'll go through the binding process, and then I'll show you pictures at the end of the flip through. I get this from a magazine, and then this is one of the Tim Holtz embellishments. And PVA glue that I have, I diluted too much, and I also ended up gluing the cap to it. So I just put some more PVA glue in there, and now I'm down to like hardly nothing. So let me just look 1 second underneath my very creative. Oh, I hate it when people do that with their fingers. It makes me dizzy. Okay, so I'm gonna have to grab it from my drawer. So this is real, because you can't have everything that you own for journaling just sitting at your desk. So me leaving the camera is a good example of what I do. Oh, get up, I get down. I'm looking for this. I don't even know what I'm looking for. I go to look for something, and I come back with something else, and I like it just as much. But up and down, and that's good for you too, because sitting in one spot is not good for your health. So now the other thing I just thought of while I'm sitting here, instead of using the glue, which might be a fail, I might test the glue on something else, is just use this double-sided tape, which is really good. And it says that it's good for photos. So if it's good for photos, it's good for junk journaling, right? The top, yeah, I should have. I wanted it up higher. I'm trying to focus on where my position is for my camera and losing my creative thoughts in the filming process. How's that sound? Will this fit? Yeah, so it's raining outside, and I overcooked my apple turnover. I wanted an apple turnover with my nice hot tea. I love having a cup of hot tea. Now, I could always put something right there, which will require me getting up and walking around unless I can find something right in front of me. Nope, that's not going to match. Alright, well, that's that for now. So that's a cutout from a mag. Mounds of whipped cream with pistachio nuts. That's what it is. That's funny, isn't it? I've got some. Now this is funny, like, but he's gonna really want me to put a bug in my journal. There may be a place for it, but if I put that in there, I'm thinking they're not gonna think it's so wonderful. See, I can just do that, right? That's the awesome thing about journaling. I'm gonna test out my glue and see if it's like, I don't want to use up the rest of that bottle into this water and then have it be totally useless to me. So I'm going to go all the way around the edges, and then if it doesn't want to stick, I'll know. I love this because reminds me of my daughter Jessica when she went to her prom. She wore these long gloves for her prom, and I just thought that was really special. And then I have a picture of my son, Brad, and these two are in heaven, Brad and Jessica. And I have a picture of him holding his hand out, and it just reminded me of that just right now. Because I always think about Brad as having a, he was such a helpful, loving son. And I have just always given out his helping hand. And so Jessica's favorite color is blue, and this is blue, and this is from the paper store. I ordered samples of linen paper, and I got this, and I like it. It's kind of, you know, it's thick. You can order the weight that you want. So here we have some muslin, and then some lace, as you can see. Now, I tried to get creative using my own ideas. Okay, so I have finished my pages, all of them. I just checked to make sure they're inked where I want them to be inked, and they're in the place that I want them to be in. So now comes the end of this process. So I have a little reference to try to keep me on track, and this is my first time doing a two signature book, two signature book, junk journal book. So here goes, and I do like mine sticking out. I'm not at the point where I need to have them be perfectly lined up, because I kind of like them fat and chunky, as I said before, because then it just makes me feel like, oh, there's something really good in there that I just got to get at, and I got to see it. So the first thing you're going to need is an awl. I have a couple of these. They actually were stilettos for working, sewing, but that's what I'm using them for. You're going to need, if you don't have an awl and you have a husband, he can put the holes in for you. That's even better. That's what I chose to do, because I made mine very thick. I took the Pepperidge Farm apple turnover box, and I cut out this part, obviously, and then I flipped that over that way, and I flipped it over this way. And then I had the bright idea of making a really thick binding. My dog's in the background, sounded like a little piglet. He's chewing on a bone. And so I took them and I just glued them all down. So there's 3 layers of cardboard here. So that's how that deal ended up that way. So we're going to bind that. Again, what we need is a sharp needle, and I bought some waxed twine on Amazon because it was just pretty inexpensive for me. I already had some of the other, but somebody had recommended getting the waxed because it goes through easier, so that's what I did. I'm going to turn off my little wood stove, electric wood stove, because it's too hot. Alright, so I have 2 signatures. Now, I'm taking it slow because I want to do this right. So, I gave you the supplies, right? Needle, hole punch, binding thread, or husband. No, not for the binding thread. The hole punch. And then we're ready to go. So I've already got these done, right? Now I need to get my hole punch, and I want to line these up, and I'm going to just wing it. And by that I mean I'm going to take a pencil, and I'm going to look at that hole there, and I'm going to estimate approximately where it's going to go, and I'd say it's going to go right there to try to line it up, and then I'm going to hope for the best, because that's how I do it. I don't know how to be perfectly lined up yet. This is just how it'll all work out. See this one right here? This one's got to go. I like it long, but that one's too long. So that one's coming out. There. Now we'll go back into here. And I'd say it's about there. And then this one, see, I gave him approximates and then I left the house this morning. So I get what I get. Now, I'm going to go through the middle, through all the layers, come out the other side. That's pretty easy, right? Yep, pretty easy. Let me check to see if I was anywhere on the mark. Is that? Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. I have 2 sets of marks, 2 threes, 2 rows of 3. What I'd like to do is bring the thread up, but I mean, I've been watching videos and I'm following what they're doing. Until I've done a few of them, I have to do what I've watched other people do, because I can't act like I know everything about something that I've only done once, even though that's what I usually do. Alright, so I'm going to go in here. It looks like I want to go right about there. That's good. That's good. I'd like to have the clips holding this, but it's not in the budget. The budget for the year has been spent. This is not a junk journal. This is an expensive journal. It's got a few pieces of recycled stuff, but for the most part, yeah, I'll admit it. I've been purchasing things. So I wanted it to come out nice. I mean, like laces and like, until I figure out where to get this ephemera. Now this, I'm going to have to look at my notes because I watched it a couple of times and I want to make sure that I do it right. And I wrote it down. So you go down from the front to the back of the middle. Okay? Through all, obviously all layers. I said I wasn't going to worry about it, but I kind of do want it to, you know, come out nice. So I'm going to come back to the drawing board and go piece by piece, and this is what I would suggest first time beginner binders. All the people that are experienced are probably saying, no, don't do it that way. Well, till I become friends with all those people, I have to be on my own. That's how it is. Alright, I've gone through, and now I'm out the back. See? Take that out of here because that's the last thing I need to do. Alright, I've come through the back. Now, look at my notes. I'm going to go to the bottom, to this hole that I have to find. In there, because I have gone through all the layers, so I know there's a spot for this needle to go. Yeah, it's better just to kind of accordion them a little bit, and then you can see the hole that you pre-made. It's where you want. There, now I'm going to come back up the front. So I've gone from the front to the back, and then looped up, and now I'm coming back to the front again. And I'm sure there's a name for this. Now I want to go down here and not shred my current binding work. Alright. It'll all work out. I hope that goes to that. Probably off camera because I'm concentrating on what I'm doing here. Now you're going to come back. Now would be the time to pull that tight and pull this tight. There. It's going to be good. Okay. Now you're going to do the same thing again. Back to front. Front to back, back to front. That's what you're doing. See? And just go through all those little pre-made holes. Then it'll make this job a lot easier. Almost there. You know, with any job, there's always a part of it that might not be the fun part. I'm going to call this not the fun part. Putting it together, fun. This, not so much. I'm on the final stretch. So now I'll take this, make sure it's good and tight from the back to the front, not too tight. Then I'm going to go underneath the loop that we made in the originally, and then I'm going to tie it off with a square knot. Okay, I'm going to do a quick flip through because I might run out of camera time. Sad story. Been editing all day for nothing. iMovie has been mean to me. Okay, here's the, let's see, do I want it this way or do I want it this way? Because I do not want to edit anymore today. Okay, here we go. Finished, did my signatures, 2 of them, and this is what the inside of my book looks like. Wish I could play some pretty music, but that would require me watching about 6 or 8 YouTube videos to try to figure out how to put it on and then give credit to the people for the music so they wouldn't take my video down. And I can't do that right now, so you'll just have to listen to me mumbling. Alright, I'll stop complaining. Yeah, this is my pretty book. Yeah, I get a little stressed when I overdo it with my projects, and I guess I did that. I did a big fat book. I was accused of being hostile by my daughter. Okay, this is a very pretty page in my opinion. And this is too. This is a golden book. Nice pretty golden book picture. You can look over and read the words and just relax. When I'm all done videoing and trying to load this on, Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to look through it and I'm going to journal in it tonight. Because yesterday was Thanksgiving. This little pocket. This is a real junk journal pocket. This is an oatmeal apple packet that I made into a pocket. And this is from a consignment store that I made into a pocket. And this is magazine paper that I cut out. So we put that back in there. This is the middle of my journal, which my daughter did when she was very young. I have another video that will show that. It's actually the beginning when I made the cover for this video. So this is my daughter's doodling, and that's my doodling. There we go. Nice. I didn't count the pages. The button box. And my coffee tea dyed paper. Paper and More is where I got this from. Magazine. My Creation. More of My Creation. And that's my jelly print. This is one of my favorite pages with this pretty rose here. And my pockets. And this is a nice little flip. And I got some rubber stamps and I tried my rubber stamping out. And this is from my sewing machine. I just changed the settings. Just decorated and rubber stamped this page all up. Makes up for some of the plain ones. And who says I'm finished, right? I say I'm finished, but who knows, I might get in here now that I feel like it's finished. But if I want to put a piece of paper on here to journal on, then I might just glue a piece of paper on there somehow. I'm really driven to finish projects, so this is washi tape and another rubber stamp. Some more of my muslin and rubber stamp. And I just glued some papers together just to make them thicker. I'm just going to speed this up a little bit because I don't want my phone to run out of memory because it was doing that to me last week, and the way things are going today, I've spent at least 6 hours trying to edit videos and it didn't work. So I had to take out my camera from my iPhone and try to finish this video up. This is a rubber stamp of Corinthians 13. This is from London. Some more pages to journal on. Yeah, that's a pretty thing that I wished I could have gone across the top. And I always said this for my children and grandchildren. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray thee, Lord, my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, I pray thee, Lord, my soul to take. Now this is some nice gaudy gold and roses. I love that. Just love it. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Another favorite of mine. Don't they all become favorites after a while? This is glitter glue on a golden book paper. And this is a program from one of my daughter's recitals, violin recital. And we are coming to the end. I did that on purpose. I like the way that looked. And now that's the last page. I watercolored that and then I printed it with some rubber stamps. And that is the end of my first and my second junk journal. So I'll tie this up and enjoy the color of that ribbon and show you one more thing that I couldn't add in the last one. I made this last year. I did consider doing a video when I was making it, but then I thought nobody would ever want to watch that. I sewed some felt together and just put some little things inside of each one of them, and it's my darning or binding needle. I also have some needles for other projects that I might need, and I thought that was really cute. So I didn't use any rickrack in here. Just thought of that. I have to use rickrack in my next one. So that's it. If you want to subscribe and leave any comments, I would really love that. So for this, it's a wrap. Thank you. 1 minute.